Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
The Oakland A's and the Angels have been going at it since 1968. Over the last 12 seasons, the teams are separated by just one game in their head-to-head series, and they've combined to win 10 American League West titles during that span. This season, as we approach the end of May, they're locked up again atop the American League West. It's NoCal versus SoCal all over again as the Angels open a 3-game set in Oakland. Halos coming off a series split against the Seattle Mariners, and this weekend here in Oakland, they get a chance to make up some ground against the division-leading Oakland Athletics. Mention the division-leading Oakland Athletics. Here are the standings in the American League West as presented by Kia. Oakland right now is playing very good baseball. The Angels themselves 30-23 on the season, a game and a half back at the start of the day. We welcome you inside O.Co Coliseum. Turn back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. I'm Victor Rojas along with Mark Gubza. Glad you could join us. As we just pointed out to you, these two teams have been evenly matched throughout their history. As a matter of fact, they've only met one time this year. It was 3 games at the Big A, and all 3 of those games very close games.
Yeah, Victor, every one of them one-run games, all decided 9th inning or later. That's why these teams are battling out so well since 2002. You mentioned that in the opening. The fact is, every one of these games is always decided late because the fact is both the bullpens have been good, especially Oakland's bullpen. They've been able to hit the ball out of the ballpark on occasion, Oakland, but so have the Angels. So this is going to be a lot of fun when you think about NoCal, SoCal, all the rivalry between these two ball clubs, and it should be another great one here. A very good pitching matchup here tonight. You got Garrett Richards on here. Pomeranz, who's throwing the ball very well for Oakland. So this is a lot of fun. Just sit back and enjoy this. As good as it gets here in NoCal, SoCal.
Oakland #1 in staff ERA. The Angels are 3rd, and pretty good pitching matchups all weekend long. We're just about ready for baseball here in Oakland, so sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return. Phillies ready to take the field. It's the battle of the alternate jerseys tonight. The Halos wearing their red ones. They've actually taken a liking to the red ones. It's worked out well for them since switching to them almost primarily since about the second, third week of April. Oakland going with their alternate green tops. Let's take a look at manager Mike Scioscia's starting 9 for the Angels. A game and a half back behind the A's. Eric Aybar leading things off at shortstop. Mike Trout in center. Albert Pujols at first base. David Freese, a cleanup hitter at third. Howie Kendrick in that fifth spot at second base tonight. TJ Crow, the DH. Chris Iannetta behind the plate. It's Grant Green in left and Colin Cowgill rounding out the starting 9 as he gets to start in right field. Taking on the 25-year-old left-hander, native of Colliersville, Tennessee, and his name is Drew Pomerantz.
Drew Pomerantz fastball is 90 to 95. He's got a good curveball, solid changeup. So in 32 2/3 innings so far this year. But the keys for the Angels against Pomerantz: get that first pitch. He's given up a couple home runs on the first pitch. And don't worry, even if you're behind in the counts, whether it's 0-1 or 0-2, when you combine that with 0-0 counts, batters are 14 for 30 with 2 home runs against Pomerantz, and hasn't been able to necessarily finish off hitters when ahead.
There's a guy who started in the bullpen and now is making his 5th consecutive start. And we'll take a look at the defense behind the lefty. It's Cespedes, Crisp, and Reddick in the outfield from left to right. The infield consists of Donaldson, Lowry, CALLASPO, and Moss from third to first. Norris behind the plate.
And Brandon Moss, we've seen him play a number of different positions for the Oakland A's. He's settled in now in that first base position. His 29th start at first. Very athletic, good throwing arm, especially when he's trying to turn a 3-6-3 double play.
Last start for Pomerantz was on the 25th, and that was at Toronto at the Rogers Center. Ended up taking the loss, but allowed just 2 runs on 5 hits in 4 innings of work. Still being lengthened out as a starter. Mentioned that he started the season as a bullpen piece, acquired in the offseason, a trade with the Colorado Rockies, and that was part of the Brett Anderson deal. Eric Aybar ready to lead things off, hitting .274 with 4 home runs, 29 runs batted in, and the first one is in for a strike.
First pitch.
Jim Reynolds calling the balls and strikes. Brian Knight at first. Fielding Colbert, the crew chief, at second, and it's Seth Buckminster at third base. That's the umpiring crew for this weekend. The breaking ball catches the inside corner.
What you'll notice for Pomerantz starting out from the stretch position, like Yu Darvish from the Texas Rangers. A lot of times I would think, work counts against him because of the fact he's only been going 4 or 5 innings. But the reality is he's given up a lot of hits early in counts.
Slowly hit to third. Maybe broke his bat. Donaldson fires across the diamond, and there's the first out of the ballgame. Now, you mentioned working counts, and as far as pitch counts are concerned, 90 pitches in those 4 innings against Toronto.
In the second position.
And because of that, they've had to use the bullpen in those games. But this is a pitching staff that has fared very, very well. A 2.89 staff ERA, tops in the American League. Their starters at 2.67 as Mike Trout gets announced here. Steps into the batter's box. Trout hitting .291, 10 home runs, 37 runs batted in. 3-hit game yesterday, and also picked up 2 runs batted in. He will look at a strike. 10-game hitting streak now for Mike. Back at his familiar 2 spot. He was in the 3 spot last night against Seattle. Pujols getting the day off, and Albert back in the lineup tonight. Broken bat roller, and that's off the foot.
Well, in a cool night here, he's been able to run the fastball in now, back-to-back batters. This one off the front leg. Remember the other day, he hit one off his back kneecap.
That may have gotten into the same knee. Wow.
It's hard to do. When we saw that the other day.
Hard to do once.
Yes. Well, I guess the old saying, he's letting that baseball travel deeper in the strike zone, and that's what's happening for him.
But you talked about it quite a bit when he was going through that about 10-game stretch where he was struggling. We're almost reaching for the baseball. More upper body than we have seen him in years past. Kind of getting back to his normal swing. They want to come back inside. This one's looped foul. Nice catch by a fan. Count remains at no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you mentioned how well they've pitched this year, Oakland. They're missing 2 parts of their rotation with A.J. Griffin and Jared Parker, 2 very good young pitchers out for the season.
They've had some nice guys fill in for them. We'll see how that plays out the rest of the year. Guys that really haven't built up innings. The Angels have a couple of those question marks themselves, and Garrett Richards, of course, and Tyler Skaggs. And their bullpen, the numbers are good for Oakland as far as the bullpen numbers, but not quite the feeling that you've had in years past, especially with the struggles of Jim Johnson.
Yeah, they haven't been able to close games out as well as they have in the past.
Breaking ball called, strike 3 on the outside corner. Delayed call there by Jim Reynolds, 2 down. First strikeout of the game.
We'll see if it does indeed get the outside corner. Looks like that's going around the back part of the plate. This barely catches the corner of the plate.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and Albert Pujols steps to the plate. Albert with the day off yesterday, hitting .262, 14 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Went 1 for 4 in that game Wednesday night against Felix Hernandez. And he will take inside. Last played in this ballpark July 26th of last year, and that's when he ended up popping that tendon in his foot as he swings through that one. It's 1-1 now.
See if he can get a swing back with that day off yesterday. It's an opportunity to clear the mind and get back to using the lower part of his body. Last few games from Pujols, using a lot with his arms instead of using his lower part of his body.
Takes a strike.
Early on, Pomerantz is a strike thrower.
Yeah. Not messing around. Guy's not jumping on that fastball either. Now the 1-2. And he takes another one. So maybe Albert looking for the breaking ball, but the Angels go down quietly and in order here in the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning with no score. Oakland Athletics at 32-22 on the season. Coco Crisp leads things off at center. John Jason, the DH. Josh Donaldson at third. Brandon Moss at first base. YOENIS and CESPEDES is in left. Jed Lowry, the shortstop. Josh Reddick in right. Derek Norris, the catcher. And Alberto CALLASPO batting ninth and playing second base. Taking on Garrett. Coming off no decision. They start on Sunday against the Kansas City Royals. 4-1 with an even 3 ERA.
They've certainly been fantastic on the road so far this season. 4-1 overall with an ERA rated 3. But the keys for Garrett against this Oakland club is stay ahead of the hitters. Establish the fastball early on and get ahead, and then finish off with that slider curve combo platter. He has that ability to get that swing and miss with either one of those breaking balls.
Oakland first in the American League in on-base percentage, second in runs, second in home runs. COCO crisp, ready to lead things off. 246 average for the switch hitter. He takes upstairs. 9 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs, and 14 RBIs for COCO. Much better average from the left side than from the right. From the get-go, Garrett falls behind here. 2 balls and no strikes. Crisp hitting 260 from this side of the plate compared to 214 from the right. Garrett did face Oakland back on April 15th. Gave up 5 runs, 7 innings, allowing 8 hits. Struck out 5 and walked 2. Got a no decision in that ball game.
Certainly, this is one of the key guys if you're Richards to keep off the bases crisp. That speed and the threat of a stolen bases changes the way you pitch.
2-1. This one looped foul on the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cook will miss some time. A strained neck, but he's been swinging the bat kind of like he was before. Just a 217 average in 13 games with that neck issue. Jed Lowry's been dealing with a little bit of a neck issue as well. 2-2 is in tight. Full count. COCO last year career high 22 home runs. (3-2) and that's line to right. Leadoff man is on board. Defensively for the Halos behind Garrett, you've got Grant Green at left, Mike Trout at center. It's Colin Cowgill in right. The infield consists of David Freese, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, and Albert Pujols around from third to first with Chris Iannetta behind the plate.
It's really key for Chris Iannetta to be able to settle Garrett Richards down. Don't make him overly concerned with the running game because he's done a pretty good job himself as far as throwing out would-be base stealers. 20% this year, 15 last year. And you're going to see some throwovers to first base, step off, things like that. Veteran catcher needs to keep him under control.
First one to JASO, down low. And if Garrett is going to be effective, he's going to have to certainly pitch ahead in the count. Even at a 3-2 count, you're kind of at a disadvantage because you're pretty much going to throw fastball.
Yeah, center in and look for a fastball in the zone, and that's what COCO did. Crisp at 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts.
JASO fouls it off to the left. That's 1 ball, 1 strike. JASO the DH, 297 average with 5 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Limited last year to 70 games. As a matter of fact, didn't play after July 25th. Concussion symptoms. Breaking ball on the inside corner, 1-2.
And that's what you want to be able to try to establish against JASO. Be able to throw your breaking ball first for a strike and then get a swing and miss on a breaking ball.
Oakland 14-12 here at home, 18-10 on the road. And against the division 15-11. The Angels 10-12 within the West. Here's the 1-2. Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Angels played pretty good baseball on the road this year. 15-10 mark. It's after the series split against Seattle. Every other day affair in Seattle. COCO with a base hit, stands at first base. Short lead for him. 2-2. Ground ball over to Albert. He can't get it. COCO will turn the corner, head to third. So Richards in some trouble here in the first. With runners at the corners and nobody out.
I mentioned in the pregame show how many A's hitters have had success against Richards. That ground ball just by the diving attempt of Albert Pujols. Like a trickier hop on the end of the grass between the grass and the dirt. It's by Pujols.
Here's the third baseman, Josh Donaldson. .276 average so far this year. 13 home runs, 41 runs batted in. He's have a couple of guys at very good numbers with men in scoring position. Donaldson has a .316 average. The guy on deck, Brandon Moss, a .339 average. And the best is down on the 8th spot in the order, and Derek Norris at .389. Hoping for a ground ball double play here.
He's grounded into 8 of them.
2 balls and no strikes. Take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
Talk about it. We've had this conversation with Jim Palmer about the first wheel in the sky, straight up and down as far as delivery, not pulling across the body. We've seen him early on here for Garrett Richards, pulling across the body and not finishing off his pitches out in front. It's key for him, a little journey up here in San Francisco.
They can be pitched to, but you're going to struggle if you continue to pitch from behind. 3-0. That's 8 balls, 6 strikes for Garrett.
And like I mentioned, it's always an adjustment. You go from that bullpen mound, you know, the wind is swirling down, your breaking ball is different, your fastball itself is different. Then all of a sudden you go to this mound here on the field. It's a different direction the wind is blowing. You have to make an adjustment early on, and Garrett has not done that yet.
And that's a 4-pitch walk. Not even prompt a visit by Mike Butcher, and sure enough. So the Angels go down looking twice of the 3 batters against Drew Pomeranz. Oakland comes out swinging and patience on Donaldson as you take a look at the bullpen situation.
Yeah, you can see how the difference is. You're throwing a completely different direction warming up in the bullpen as compared on the game mound. I used to always try to sneak an extra pitch or 2 warming up on the game mound after warming up down there in the bullpen here in Oakland.
Richards should be familiar with the situation. This is his 6th game, 4th start of his career. 0-1 record, a .379 ERA. But fell behind on COCO on 3-2. Chris got the base hit. Got ahead of JASO, and then JASO just snuck a base hit past PUJOLS. Now a 4-pitch walk to Donaldson. Here's Brandon Moss.
And the one guy in this lineup definitely you would love to try to avoid, especially when you consider what Moss has done throughout his career versus the Angels, and some good numbers against Richards, 6 for 16.
And again, falls behind. You're doing a team like this a favor by giving them hitters counts. Crisp at 3rd, JASO at 2nd, Donaldson at 1st. Moss hitting .273, 12 home runs, 42 runs batted in.
Boy, Victor, these guys aren't up there just to try to work counts necessarily. They're trying to get into fastball counts. And if Garrett has established his fastball and be able to throw that for a strike first pitch, well, you will see them swing at the first pitch. That's always been the mantra of Chili Davis. Get a fastball. He's done a very good job as a hitting coach for Oakland. But you got to get ahead with the fastball first before you get him to chase out of the zone.
2-0, hammered out to right field. Cowgill giving chase, and it is gone. 4-0 Oakland. 3rd grand slam hit by the Athletics this year. That's Moss's 1st career grand slam. Fastball counts.
What do we say to avoid? And certainly try to avoid that guy, Brandon Moss. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. That's what you're centered in. That's what you're looking for. And you get a fastball. That's 10 career home runs for Moss versus the Angels, and now 31 RBI.
I would say that's a resounding first blow in this series. But again, you continue to do them a favor. 0-1 pitch to Cespedes. On the corner, 0-2.
Well, when you think about it, Garrett Richards on the road this season. 6 road starts, his ERA 1.38.
Cespedes chases a breaking ball in the dirt. And he'll go down for the first out.
And that's what you'll get, those type of swings we get ahead of the count, especially when you have stuff like Garrett Richards.
Shortstop, number 8, Jed Lowry.
So 1 out, nobody on. Jed Lowry, the shortstop up. And this is a team that is 10th in batting average, yet first in on-base percentage and second in runs, as we just pointed out to. You give them an inch, they're going to take advantage of it. You've got to limit those opportunities. The Angels will play from behind. Lowry shoots one out to left field, not hit very hard or deep. Grant Green coming on, can't get it. Falls in there for a single, and Lowry will stop at first. Fortunately for Grant, for the Angels, that ball got a piece of him, and it stayed right near him.
Yeah, he's reaching out. He's not going to be able to make that play. When you go into a slide like that, you got to be fortunate enough to have it hit your body. Otherwise, it's at least a double.
Reddick shoots one through the hole on the left side. So 2 on with 1 out now. Derek Norris coming to the plate.
Batting in the 8th position and catching, number 36, Derek Norris.
Eighth man to bat here in the first. Derek Norris, the catcher. Team's leading hitter at .301. 5 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Has 8 doubles as well. Originally in the Nationals organization. Came over that Gio Gonzalez trade, part of that Gio Gonzalez trade. Two balls, no strikes. I think we've said that a little too often already here in the first. 25 pitches thrown by Garrett, 13 balls, 12 strikes. 5 hits allowed here in the first inning. And Moss with a grand slam, first career slam for him. Oakland a 4-0 lead.
Well, this might force Mike Scioscia to think in terms of maybe getting that bullpen going already. Wade LeBlanc is a guy certainly give you length out of the bullpen.
Second walk of the inning. Now they're loaded up again. And that bullpen does scramble now.
Batting ninth, second baseman, number 18, Alberto.
And it is Wade LeBlanc getting ready. Former Angel Alberto CALLASPO, the second baseman tonight, steps in. Lowry at third, Reddick at second, Norris at first. Alberto hitting .242, 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. And Garrett almost looks about as tentative as we've seen him all season long.
He's almost not even following through. You see the back legs not even finishing through on his delivery.
Almost throwing, trying to throw darts.
Yes, aiming his pitches.
A little better there, 1-1. You almost want to tell him, just go for the full windup here. I know there's 1 out. Get kind of back in the comfort zone. If you can.
There's not a ton of speed on the bases. You can afford to do so right now.
Slow roller foul. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, 30 pitches thrown here already in the first inning. 16 of them out of the strike zone for Richards. Very unusual to see.
Yep. Here's the 1-2. Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Richards, 2-2. It is called strike 3. Down goes CALLASPO.
There's no question that ball got the strike zone. Straight down the middle of the plate and a lot of the plate.
Center fielder, number 4, COCO, Chris.
So here's the guy that started it all for Oakland, COCO Crisp. Second plate appearance of this first inning. Single to right field and scored in the Moss grand slam. COCO being the 10th batter of this inning. Richards has thrown first pitch strike to 3 of them. One 0 pitch. It's 2 balls, no strikes. LeBlanc continuing to loose it down in the pen. Next pitch for Garrett will be the 35th of this first inning.
If you're Richards, you get through this inning this early in the game, plenty of opportunities to get back in it, but so important to be able to get out crisp right now to not allow the A's to get an even bigger lead here in the first.
Outfield straight around with Crisp at the plate. Green shallow and left. Bouncer down the line, foul.
And Richards has shown, even when he's had some problems early in the game, he's able to at least get through into that 7th inning. Last couple of times out, settled down after struggling early. Have to get through this one now against Crisp.
Cool breezy night here at the Coliseum. Oakland striking for 4 thus far here in the first inning. They have the bases loaded with 2 outs. 3-1. And a left-handed batter, John JASO on deck. This might be Garrett's last batter if he ends up walking him. Or giving up a knock regardless. 3-1 on the way. He walked it. So it's 5-0 Oakland. Here comes Mike Scioscia. So 5 runs here in the first inning. Garrett Richards unable to get ahead of counts and finish guys off. Will depart here as Wade LeBlanc will make his Angels debut. We're in the first inning still with 2 outs, the bases loaded. Oakland leading at 5-0. Loaded. And unfortunately for him, not a pretty start whatsoever. Just 2/3 of an inning. 37 pitches, 5 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and responsible for the 3 guys that are still on base. His left-handed Wade LeBlanc comes into the ballgame. 29-year-old Lake Charles, Louisiana native, making his Angels debut, is pitching at AAA Salt Lake. Had made 9 starts for the Bees and had thrown the ball well down there with a 5-1 record of 3.69 earned run average. And will be facing John JASO here and trying to keep this a 5-0 deficit. JASO singled and scored in the first, and we are still playing in the first.
Some unusually saw Pomeranz back down in the bullpen, still trying to stay loose with this long half inning.
JASO fouls off the first offering. No balls in the strike.
And LeBlanc fastballs 85 to 88 range. He'll throw a cut fastball, curveball, and a plus changeup.
Off-speed pitch. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. This is the shortest outing of Garrett Richards' career, not injury related. Remember back in 2011, made a start against Texas and hurt his ankle. Was taken out after 2/3 of an inning. Breaking ball almost hits JASO.
Oh, and he tried to turn into it too. Can't blame him for doing so. We get an RBI out of it.
Full count. Runners are going to take off with the next pitch with 2 outs and a full count. Reddick at third, Norris at second, and Crisp at first. Here's the payoff. And JASO strikes out swinging, so at least LeBlanc comes in and puts out the fire. But Oakland strikes for 5. We'll head to the second. Angels trailing at 5-0. 5-0. It'll be David Freese, Howie Kendrick, and C.J. Cron to face Drew Pomeranz, who had to sit around for about 25 minutes or so, it seemed. Pomeranz, remember, sat the Angels down in order in the first.
I've never seen somebody go down and warm up down on the bullpen mound. Maybe you'll see him throw underneath, play catch. See that too often? See if that long delay hurts Pomeranz.
He wasn't hurting in the first inning. Got a ground ball by Ibar, and Trout and Poole struck out looking, both on fastballs. Check that. Trout's was a breaking ball on the outside corner. Halos will have to chip away here. David Freese batting .213, a couple of home runs, 14 runs batted in. David went 1 for 5 in yesterday's game. Shoots this one out to the alley at right center field. Long run for Josh Reddick. Racing over, and he'll track it down. Had a long way to go, and had a nice running catch. Well, folks, the Angels will take on the White Sox next Friday at 7:05. And fans in attendance will receive a Jared Weaver Gnome, courtesy of Farmer John, while supplies last. Purchase tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com.
Number 47, Howie Kendrick.
All seemed to hang up there.
Yeah, and the angle Reddick was taking is almost as if he appeared to think he was going to be able to play that off the wall, one hop the wall, but then he was able to cut off that angle at the very end.
Yeah, I thought for a moment that he was looking to see where COCO was at. They're making a nice play on it. That's how he looks at his strike.
He's a very good right fielder and with an excellent throwing arm.
Howie hit .287, a couple of home runs, 22 runs batted in. 0 for 5 game yesterday. 1 ball, 1 strike. Howie went 1 for 18 in the series against Seattle. This one down a line foul.
Considering how well he hit on the road early on, too.
Yep. All the damage was on the road for Howie. Started to swing the bat better at home in the last homestand. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Even with the 1 for 18 at Seattle, still hitting .327 on the road, .252 at home. Oakland with 5 in the first. A grand slam by Brandon Moss and a bases loaded walk to COCO Crisp. Chopper back toward the middle. Lowry to his left. 2 down.
Batting in the 6th position.
So it'll bring up C.J. Cron.
Number 20, C.J. Cron.
Big game yesterday for C.J. in Seattle. Home run shy of the cycle. Going 3 for 5. First big league triple, and that occurred in the 4th. Picked up his 6th double later on in the game. Nothing fancy for Pomeranz. 90 to 92. It hasn't really opened up the bag of tricks, if you will. Nice breaking ball.
And like every other Oakland A's pitcher that stands right on that dirt of the mound, doesn't walk around, waste time in between pitches.
CJ pops it up. Moss into foul territory. And now makes a catch in fair territory. Those are a little breezy up here today at the Coliseum. 6 up, 6 down for Pomeranz. The Angels down 5-0. the bottom of the second. Coming up later in the game, we'll bring you the AT&T fan photo of the game, but we need your help. Tweet us a photo using hashtag WestFanPhoto. It could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Donaldson, Moss, and Cespedes, 3, 4, and 5 for the Athletics here in the second, facing Wade LeBlanc, who came in and struck out John JASO. The bases loaded. LeBlanc now to the full windup. Donaldson fouls off the first one. Donaldson drew a walk in the first 4 pitches. That's all he faced, and he scored a run. Safely at 48 of 49, he's reached base. Donaldson hits one high and deep to right field. Calgill moving back on it and not going to make the play. That is off the wall. No, it's a home run. Second base umpire Fielding Colbreth saying it's a home run. Donaldson thought it was a double, so he stopped at second.
Mike Scioscia looking at Dino Evil to make sure. But he may go out and indeed check that, get it reviewed.
Remember, there is the out-of-town scoreboard out in right field. There is a yellow line above that scoreboard, and then there's that yellow facing up there. That's a home run.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. That ledge and off the back part and then back in the field of play.
Should stand, and it's the 14th home run for Donaldson, and it's 6-0.
Well, home runs can automatically be reviewed. They don't have to be, but it's not a situation where it's a challenge in effect.
Now the umpire's discretion, they can make a determination to look at it, and it won't go as a challenge. So this might just be an umpire's discretion call. Manager can request it, but cannot challenge a home run call.
Boy, sure look from our angle. On the top of the wall, then off the back wall, and then back into play.
Yeah.
It's a crew chief review.
Yep.
Not a challenge.
Unfortunately for the Angels, I don't think it'll take that long, and it did. It is a home run. 14th of the year and 42nd RBI, so it is 6-0 Oakland here in the second. So nobody out, nobody on. Brandon Moss at the plate. He's the one that homered and brought in 4 runs in that first inning with his first career grand slam. 13th home run of the year. He swings the first one. It's a fly ball to left. 1 away. So Moss retired. That'll bring up Cespedes.
Now batting, left fielder, 52.
Wade LeBlanc out of the University of Alabama, second round pick of the Padres back in 2006. Pitching the big leagues with the Padres from 08, 2011, and went to the Marlins. Pitched there last year, 13 games, 7 starts. Pitched 4 games against, or I should say, for Houston. Cespedes pops this one up to Calgill, 2 down.
Like I said earlier, I mean, they will swing at the first pitch if it's a fastball and you've thrown it for a strike. The thing with Garrett today, he was unable to throw his fastball for a strike early in the count.
Now batting shortstop, number 8.
Cespedes now 0 for 2 with that fly ball to right. Jed Lowry now stepping up. He singled his first inning at bat. Just off the plate. 2-0 pitch. 3 balls and no strikes. One on the way. Lowry looks at the strike, full count. First time LeBlanc has pitched since May 21st. 3-2, and he walked him. So a 2-out walk. It's the 4th walk issued in this game. 3 by Garrett, now 1 by LeBlanc. Bring up Josh Reddick. You're talking a total of 9 days between appearances for the lefty.
It's very difficult to be consistent when you haven't been out there in a while. That's what happens sometimes when you're down in the bullpen, especially the long guy out of the bullpen.
Reddick looks at a strike. Reddick, a base hit to left field. His first time up, so he's 1 for 1. Garrett Richards lasting just 2/3 of an inning. 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. Shortest outing by an Angel starter since Jared Weaver did not record an out against the Yankees at home May 28, 2012. This one's popped up. I believe the Angels came back in that game. Eric Ibar calls off Freeze, but Freeze takes charge and makes the catch. Oakland tacks on a run of the Donaldson home run. We'll head to the top of the 3rd. 6-0 Oakland.
Cold hard facts with Chris Iannetta coming to the plate. On April 16th versus Oakland, became the 5th Angel catcher ever to hit a walk-off home run. The other name, Bob Boone did it. Lance Parrish, Mike Napoli. Chris Iannetta, that was a tight series we saw. We mentioned that in the opening. All 3 games, 1-run games, all decided 9th inning or later. That cold hard fact is brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
Chris Iannetta to lead things off. It's the bottom 3rd of the order for the Halos here in the 3rd. 6 up, 6 down for Drew Pomerantz, the A's starter tonight. He delivers a strike. 2 strikeouts, no hits, no walks for Pomerantz.
22 pitches thrown, 17 strikes.
Inetta hitting .257. That's the breaking ball for a strike. There's 5 home runs, 17 runs batted in. 4 multi-hit games his last 8. His batting average up to .257. One hard hit ball, and that's the one off the bat of David Freese that Josh Reddick tracked down out in right center field. Two. Spacious little ballpark. 400 straightaway center field, but it plays much bigger out that way, especially at night.
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's a little different now with Mount Davis. Carries a little better, but before he used to have crushed the ball out to get out to center.
Tried to backdoor the breaking pitch as he did on Trout and misses, and it's a full count. 3:30 down the lines here. And then you've got a bunch of nooks and crannies, different heights to the walls. The foul poles out to the alleys in right and left center field. Here's the payoff. Inetta yanks it foul. So we'll reset and do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. CARmax, a former first-round pick of the Cleveland Indians, 5th overall in 2010 out of Ole Miss. Traded to the Rockies in the Baldo Jimenez trade. Picked up this offseason by Oakland. Inetta fouls it back. A baseball lineage in his family. Pomerantz, his brother Stu, drafted by the Cardinals. Played 5 seasons in their organization. And there's the walk. First base run of the game for the Angels. Pomerantz's grandfather played Major League Baseball as well. Garland Buckeye.
Batting in the 8th position.
Good name.
He had a 30-39 record and a 3.91 ERA. You know what Garland Buckeye's nickname was? Gob.
Gob?
Gob. Played in the early 1900s. Washington, Cleveland, and the New York Giants. Grant Green takes outside, the former Athletic. Just don't have nicknames like they once did.
No.
Why would you need a nickname, really, when you think about it, when your name is Garland Buckeye?
No, I mean, that's as good as it gets right there.
That one's on the corner. Grant hitting .377, and a home run and 6 runs batted in. They're going 1 for 4 last night. Single landed RBI, also scored a run. 2 nice plays in left field.
Really, that play against Justin Smoke preserved the victory yesterday.
Two-one count. And that was for the last out in the 6th inning. Kevin Jepson on the mound. Tonight, Oakland scoring 5 in the first, 1 in the second. 2-1 on the way. This is looped out toward right center field. COCO Crisp moving over, and he'll make the running catch.
Very athletic outfield here for the A's. Chris can cover a lot of ground. Reddick, you've seen that. Cespedes is truly a center fielder playing left. A lot of coverage. Both corner outfielders have excellent throwing arms, but Crisp is the quarterback in the defense and his ability to cover so much ground.
One out, one on. Here's Colin Cowgill. Angels right fielder tonight, hitting .276. And he will look at a strike. Cowgill at .276 on the season. Not playing yesterday's game with Cole getting the start in right field and Green in left.
Had a conversation with Cole Calhoun before the game. He said he's starting to feel a little more comfortable at the plate, seeing and tracking more pitches. Cole did a very good job leading off yesterday. For the day off against a tough lefty here tonight.
And Pomeranz has been very tough against left-handed batters. And that's why Calhoun's not in the lineup. Just a 179 batting average against. 5 from 28. That's what lefties are against Pomeranz. Not as if the righties have dominated him either. 213. 1-1. Strike on the breaking ball. 1-2.
Kurt Young has done a very good job of Pomeranz, the pitching coach for Oakland. He's gotten to be more compact and quiet in his delivery. Not overthrowing the ball. I give a lot of credit to Kurt Young. His 10th year as pitching coach for Oakland. Second stint, he went up to Boston and came right back. I've known Kurt a long time. We were teammates in Kansas City. He just knew he was going to be a good pitching coach. His big thing is throwing first pitch strike, pitching inside, using your changeup, and working quickly.
Ibar on deck. 2-2. Called strike 3. 2 down. 3 strikeouts looking tonight for Pomeranz. Another fastball.
Number 2.
Hides the ball well,
Ibar.
but still fastballs in zones in which you look for a fastball and hope you could be successful, because that's a spot where normally you got a chance hitting well. ERA over 5. Passed. Very good this season, though.
Ibar grounded out to Donaldson in the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. Leadoff walk to Chris Iannetta, and Chris still standing at first base. Another breaking ball, 0-2.
Well, that breaking ball tonight, he's had a great feel for that one.
And a called strike 3, another fastball. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Pomeranz. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd, 6-0 Oakland. $20 or more can enjoy Angels baseball for as low as $8 per seat. This year, take advantage of the exclusive group hat collection for select series. To book your outing, just call 888-796-HALO or log on at angels.com/TROUT. It's the first of 3 against the Oakland A's. The Halos coming into this one a game and a half back. And they've dug themselves a pretty good-sized hole here in Oakland. Down 6-0. Norris, CALLASPO, and Crisp facing Wade LeBlanc. He's gone an inning and a third so far. He's allowed a run. Home run by Donaldson in the second. A strikeout and a walk. 3 outs he's recorded. The other 3 outs he's recorded, all fly ball outs. Norris drew a walk into first. He's ahead of the count at 2-0. This is shot to right field. Cowgill is there. 1 away.
That went right on the nose, but stayed up long enough for Cowgill to come in and catch it. Another hitter's count. Jumping on a fastball for an Oakland A's hitter. Cowgill able to catch it though.
So CALLASPO spin around to hit from the right side. Second baseman tonight for Oakland. Struck out looking in the first. He's 0 for 1. Off speed, popped him up. Howie, Eric Ibar. Ibar calls for it. 2 down.
Now let's check the tools of the trade presented by Ram Trucks. Oakland can swing the bat, but they also could play some solid defense in the outfield. Josh Reddick going a long way to catch that fly ball. It looked like it was going to be a gapper for David Freeze, and then COCO Crisp with that closing speed catches that fly ball. So they can cover that outfield ground. One with COCO, Reddick, and also Cespedes in left.
Crisp 1 for 1. Single that scored in the first. Walked and brought home an RBI in the first as well. Bases loaded walk. Last batter that Garrett Richards faced. This is a base hit to the right side. Two-out single. Second straight inning in which LeBlanc has retired 2 batters and allowed a base runner. Lowry drew the walk in the second inning. Now COCO with the base hit. JASO will bat. He's 1 for 2. First batter that LeBlanc faced back in the first. One ball, no strikes.
Good breaking ball from LeBlanc there against JASO.
Signed in the offseason, minor league free agent. Last year combined between the Marlins and the Astros. 1-5 with a 5.40 ERA. Full-time starter with San Diego back in 2010. 8-12 record that year. Check in on COCO over at first base.
That's 13 career pickoffs, including 8 pickoffs back in the 2010 season. A very good move.
Here's the 1-2. Off speed in the dirt. Nice block by Anetta. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Angels in the fourth will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up. JASO gets hit by a pitch. Like an off-speed pitch sailed away from LeBlanc.
You saw that from JASO was
Third baseman.
last at bat against LeBlanc, in which he tried to turn into the pitch.
Not the guy you wanted at the plate, with a couple of men on and 2 outs. Donaldson looks at a breaking ball that misses low. Pretty close. Donaldson walked and scored in the first, homered in the second. Ground ball to the right side. That'll sneak through for a base hit. Crisp is being waved around. He's going to score. And it is 7-0 Oakland.
We're now 43 RBI this season for Donaldson.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen, for the Athletics. Batting for Brandon Moss, number 88, Kyle Blanks.
A's are going to pinch hit for Brandon Moss here with Kyle Blanks. Interesting, and didn't see anything out of Moss on that last swing back in the second inning. Blanks will bat. Recently acquired. San Diego Padres. Seven nothing Oakland here in the third. Blanks shoots one foul and out of play. First base side may have broken his bat.
Yeah, you wonder if he's okay because Moss is hitting .353 versus left-handed pitching.
Speed cued foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Broken bat bouncer up the middle. Howie's got it, races to the bag. No, he throws to first instead and got him. So it will end the bottom of the third inning, although Bob Melvin, though, wants to come out. Bob Melvin might want to have this reviewed here. I'm really surprised that Howie didn't just go to second base and force out
That
Donaldson.
decision made it a lot closer play than it probably should have been.
That looks like an out from that angle. And it appears as if Melvin is not going to ask for a replay. So that is the third out of the inning. Oakland does tack on a run here on a couple of hits and leave a couple on. We're through 3 downs. Oakland leading at 7-0. runner, and that was a leadoff walk to Chris Inett in the third. Chris was stranded at first base. Halos will send up Trout, Pujols, and Freeze here in this fourth inning. Kyle Blank stays in the game, and he will play first base. Trout struck out looking on a breaking ball in the first. One of 4 strikeouts for Pomerantz. All of them looking. Position 1 walk. First one missing inside for ball 1. And that is out toward left center field. Hit well. COCO Crisp giving chase. He pulls up. That is gone. Big fly for Mike Trout. 11-game hitting streak, and the Angels get on the board as they trail it 7-1.
Boy, a no doubter for Trout. It's a big part of the yard. Very difficult to get it out of the ballpark at that spot in the stadium, especially on a cool night. 11th home run, 38th RBI. He's getting back, swing back again, getting his hands inside and getting the good part of the bat, the barrel on the baseball. He create lift on the side of the baseball and crushes it out.
There's Alberto, looks at a breaking ball for a strike. Albert struck out looking himself in the first. It's 4th home run that Pomerantz has allowed this year.
It's a 10th career home run for Trout against Oakland.
Hit sharply, but CALLASPO, the overshift has it. Throws out Albert for the first down here in the 4th.
Even though that's an out for Pujols, that's hit well and back up the middle.
Number 6.
Using his lower part of his body on that swing as compared to just using the wrist and forearm.
David Freeze up. He shot one to the alley in right center field back in the second inning, leading off that frame. And Josh Reddick made a nice running catch on. David is 0 for 1. Home run for Trout is 11, 38 RBIs now. It's Freeze now ahead of the count at 2-0. First hit of the night for the Angels. That one just missed in. 3-0. Howie Kendrick on deck. Fastball, and perhaps when you're down by 6 runs, you might be more inclined to take that pitch.
Yeah, and the need for base runners. I'm sure you'd like to get that exact same pitch back now, though.
You and everybody else. 3-1, and that's a walk. So the second issued by Pomerantz. Puts a man on with 1 out, and Howie at the plate. The Angels have faced quite a few left-handed pitchers over the last couple of weeks. They've hit lefties better than righties this year by about 12 points. 264 average compared to 252 against right-handers.
Another lefty tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Tommy Malone.
Off-speed master.
SoCal products, Saugus High School.
USC. Short lead for Freeze at first. Break the ball outside. All of a sudden, what's that feel for that breaking ball? It was so good the first couple of innings, especially on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, he's kind of not finishing off. He had a real good breaking ball in the first couple innings.
On the corner. Oakland with 5 runs in the first inning, chasing Garrett Richards, Angels starter tonight. Just 2/3 of an inning, shortest outing of his career, matching his shortest outing of his career. There's that breaking ball we were just talking about, 1 and 2.
Better feel for that one.
Wade LeBlanc came in at the last out of the first, has allowed solo runs in the second and third innings.
Angels so far this year against left-handed starters, 13-8 mark. Pretty solid.
And that fastball in on the hands. Well, there's no doubt it's an uphill battle when you stake this ball club to a 7-0 lead. To kind of come back. Now the Angels have been able to do that this year. Battle back from behind, but Oakland 20-3 when scoring first. So courtesy of that pitching staff that they have.
And bullpen, even though it's not quite as automatic, still very good.
Halos need to chip away and make this a ball game. A couple of runs here, a couple of runs there. Major League Baseball, ERA, average allowed, on base percentage allowed, and slugging percentage allowed. So they don't let things too often blow up on them.
And that positive thinking conversations from Kurt Young really has helped out this staff. Especially when you, like we mentioned early in the game, when you lose 2/5 of your starters, yet you don't miss a beat as far as dominating the American League as far as ERA. And the credit got to go to Kurt Young.
Another 1-2. Kendrick hammers one out to left field. Cespedes giving chase. He pulls up. That one is gone. Big fly for Howie Kendrick. A 2-run shot, and it's 7-3 Oakland.
Well, all of a sudden, this has a chance of being a fun one now. Cut it down to a 4-run deficit. Third home run of the season. Boy, he got his hands inside the baseball, too. Great job as far as getting the hands in and then still able to get the barrel of the bat out and catching up to that fastball inside.
Kurt Young to pay a visit. First home run for Howie Kendrick since April 18th. His previous two occurred in that game against the Tigers, and both the opposite way, so his first pull home run.
Now batting, number 20, C.J. Cron.
Well, with Cron's power, all of a sudden, right back in the game.
(7-3) Oakland as we play here in the fourth. Cron popped out in foul territory his first time up. Through the wickets.
Coming in this game, Palmer's has allowed 3 home runs the entire season, 2 tonight. And you look at Garrett Richards, at that point had only allowed 1 home run the entire year before that grand slam to Brandon Moss in the first inning for Oakland.
2 balls, no strikes. Just got underneath that one. Alberto CALLASPO drifting out, makes a catch. 2 down.
Boy, he had a pitch to drive. He just missed it.
Now batting, number 17.
Anytime you see a power hitter with a pitch like that, just get underneath it, you hit it that high. But you want to drive, you just missed it. It happens, especially when you're out front just enough.
2 outs, bases clear, and here's Chris Iannetta. Drew a walk leading off to third. Little different approach by Pomeranz in this inning. Trying to lead off home run, and after Pujols grounded out, a walk to Freeze, and Kendrick on the 2-run home run. Two-seam fastball running away, 2-1.
Anticipating a fastball out over the plate. Sinker away.
off speed. Or he took something even more off that fastball. 2-2.
.64 pitches thrown, 23 in this inning for Pomeranz.
2-2 now. This is line right to second and off the glove of CALLASPO, hustling back to get the baseball, fires to first, and I get a call down at first, and Socha is going to come out, I think, and at least take a look at it and have a conversation with Brian Knight at first base.
And he'll look in at Dino Ebel. Line drive right at CALLASPO. And then saw once that ball went off the glove, went down the line.
No challenge from Socha. That is the third out. The Angels get on the board with a couple of home runs. They're trailing now 7-3. In the fourth, now 7-3. Tomorrow it's a full day of MLB action, beginning with the Braves taking on the Marlins on Fox Sports 1, and then it's Baseball Night in America on Fox. The Braves take on the Red Sox, and Pirates taking on the Dodgers. MLB doubleheader begins Saturday, 12:30 Pacific on Fox Sports 1. It continues at 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox. Cespedes, Lowry, and Reddick. Wade LeBlanc. Cespedes over 2 with the strike and the fly to right. And boy, if you ever needed a quick scoreless inning, this would be it after getting on the board with 2 home runs. Solo shot by Trout, 2-run shot by Kendrick. Good off-speed pitch, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, it's a real good changeup.
Three runs allowed by Pomeranz, the most runs he's allowed in any one game this year. Cespedes fouls it off. Tails in the 5th. We'll have 8, 9, and 1 coming up.
And more than likely, they'll be the last inning for Pomeranz. He's been settled in around 5 innings pitched each start.
Oh, 2 again. This was lifted down the right field line. Long run for Colin Cowgill. Crossing into foul territory. Makes the catch. 1 down. Fortunately for him, he's got the home plate area as opposed to the mound.
Exactly. That's a lot of area to cover if you're Cowgill. Well, he's playing him to hit right center field and not only covering, and then all of a sudden the last few steps you're running on dirt on the home plate area of the bullpen. Nice play by Cowgill. Take a deep breath as you get back to your position.
Familiar with this ballpark. There's Jed Lowry, the shortstop. He's been on board twice with a single and a walk. Back up the middle, off the glove, Ibar. Bare hands, fires to first, got him. What a play by Eric. 2 down.
That's not an easy play, especially you're reacting differently, especially with balls off the glove of the pitcher. Came in with the bare hand and a long throw from the bare hand from Eric Ibar.
Right fielder, number 16, Josh.
Then all in one motion, perfect throw. It's Lowry at first base. Nice play by Ibar. Gold Glover.
Reddick takes inside. Big batter for LeBlanc here. Last 2 innings, he's allowed a base runner with 2 outs. Last inning, it eventually cost him a run. 2 balls, no strikes. Reddick 1 for 2 with a single and a pop-up. LeBlanc got him to pop out to Freeze to end the 2nd inning. Now 3-0. Got to finish what you started, especially with Derek Norris on deck.
Yeah, he hit the ball extremely well his last at bat, but it was right at Calgill.
So make that 3 consecutive innings now. A 2-out base runner. Hey, tonight's game is being powered by Energy Upgrade California. Manage energy and help California stay golden. Visit energyupgradeca.org. Oh, it's the old 2-out letdown.
Just to lose the focus, especially after your offense has put 3 runs up on the board at the top of the 4th. You're right back in the game. You have to get that offense back to swinging right away against a rattled pitcher.
Sorry, Mark, but especially against a left-handed batter, the lefty-lefty matchup. When you look on deck, this is not the guy you wanted to play with a man on. You 1-0. Norris with a walk in the 1st and a fly ball to right in the 3rd. That's why LeBlanc has had to deal with his inconsistencies over the last several years at the major league level. One and one. Last year carried a whip of 1.673 between the Fish and the Astros, and some walks and hits divided by innings pitched.
There's a lot of base runners.
Yeah. One. Just off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Short lead for Reddick. Norris fouls it off to the right.
Well, when they get ahead of the count and they know a fastball's coming, they get some big rips against a fastball.
Reddick takes off the 2-2. It's a called strike 3, and that'll do it for the A's here in the 4th. We will head to the 5th. Halos down 7-3. 500L. Visit FiatUSA.com. By Time Warner Cable, enjoy better. Call 1-855-WANT-TWC. By the new Fun to Drive 2014 Camry at your Toyota dealer today, we make it easy. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. 7-3. Oakland on top, so we begin the 5th inning. Drew Pomeranz back out on the mound. Grant Green, Colin Cowgill, Eric Ibar for the Angels. And like to see those guys get on board here before Trout steps to the plate. 3 runs in the 4th inning. Trout with his 11th home run. Howie Kendrick with his 3rd home run, a 2-run shot. Grant 0 for 1. Hit one to the alley in right center field. That was tracked down by COCO Crisp. And a former first-round pick by the Oakland A's out of USC. Came over to the Angels in exchange for Alberto CALLASPO. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Boy, 6 times in the history of the Angels have come back from being down by 7 or more runs, including last June. They came back and won the game. So they've done it in the past. It's got to get a couple base runners, like you mentioned, before you get to Trout and then Pujols.
That's yanked down a left field line, and that is a fair ball. Into the corner she goes. Grant will round first, head to second. It's a leadoff double. Picks up his 4th of the season.
See some movement eventually down here in the bullpen for Oakland. Well hit. Grant Green got a fastball inner half, but it was elevated. 4th double of the season.
Number 7, Colin Cowgill.
Cowgill struck out looking into 3rd. 0 for 1. 4 strikeouts for Pomeranz, 2 walks. Now 3 hits allowed. But it looked like he was looking for that breaking ball too. Just pulled off of it. It's 0-1.
Yeah, that front shoulder moved open, then the head moved out of the strike zone.
70 pitches thrown by Pomeranz. 45 have been strikes. One and 1. It's 3 straight innings in which the leadoff man has reached for the Angels. The walk Dinette in the 3rd, the home run by Trout in the 4th, and now Grant picking up that double. Well struck down the left field line.
All of a sudden, the pace too for Pomeranz has slowed down. He's working extremely quick. First 3 innings.
Now time is called all of a sudden. Like somebody, like CALLASPO called time. One pitch. Inside.
He might have got him in the leg. Trying to sell it.
I thought it kind of grazed him too on the back right leg there.
Let's see if it got him in this angle. No. But he tried to sell it though.
His heart wasn't in it.
Yeah.
2-1. In off the plate, 3 balls and a strike.
And when that ball was tracking, it was towards his kneecap. I don't know how good that would have felt if it did hit him.
Exactly.
Eric Ibar on deck. Cowgill trying to get on base himself.
Some scrambling going on in the A's bullpen right now. 3-1 on the way. Popped him up. Green's not going anywhere. Reddick is underneath it. 1 down. We'll bring up Eric Ibar, and he steps to the plate. We will take a look at our Infinity in-game box score. Just 3 hits for the Angels, 2 home runs, and the double by Green.
Now batting, number 2, Eric Ibar.
That would have got real interesting if he'd been able to get on base, either a base hit or a walk for Calgill, especially the way Ibar's been swinging.
Dan Otero, first man up for Oakland. Eric, the leadoff man tonight, is 0 for 2. Ground ball to third and a strikeout. Off the plate. You wonder if Ibar does get on here. Does Melvin go to Trout, or pardon me, to Otero to face Trout? Mike's on deck. Trout homering to lead off the 4th inning off the Pomeranz. 2-0 pitch. Ibar yanks it down a line. Diving stop by Donaldson. Across the diamond, 2 down.
That's a huge play by Donaldson. That's going to score a run. Right down the line. Good pitch to hit. 2-0 count. Donaldson showing range in that strong throwing arm he has to get up and throw out.
Number 27,
Ibar.
Mike Trout.
So 2 outs. Green still at second. Here's Trout. One for 2 with that home run. Now with an 11-game hitting streak. Glance back to Green. Here comes the 1-0. Fouled back.
Now let's take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. Trout's last at bat, got a fastball down and in, and drives it out to left center field. Good part of the bat on that one. Good job as far as getting your hands inside the baseball for Trout. His 11th home run, 38th RBI. Home run in 4 straight games here now in Oakland. It's a big run here to be able to get home here, especially with a leadoff double here in this inning by Grant Green.
On the corner with a curveball. 1-2. Pujols on deck. Grant Green starting off this 5th with a double into the left field corner. A swing and a miss. Got him with a high fastball. That'll do it as Green remains stranded at second. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Still 7-3 Oakland. First inning so far is working 3 1/3, having allowed 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 3 hits, including the Donaldson home run. They'll face CALLASPO, Crispin, JASO here in the 5th inning. Alberto takes down low. CALLASPO 0 for 2, a strikeout in the first and a pop-up in the 3rd inning. Lifts this one out to shallow right. Howie going out, Colin coming in. It's Cowgill making the catch, 1 down. Back to the top of the order, COCO Crisp.
Center fielder, number 4, COCO Crisp.
Crisp has been on board 3 times tonight. 2 singles and a walk, 1 RBI, 2 runs scored. That one is just off the plate. Garrett Richards made the start, lasted 2/3 of an inning, allowing 6 runs on 5 hits, including the grand slam to Moss. Brandon Moss, by the way, we're told left with tightness in his calf. That's why Kyle Blanks pinch hit for him in the 3rd.
Yeah, certainly was surprised initially. He figured it had to be some sort of injury for Moss to come out of the game, especially with his numbers against left-handed pitching this season.
This one out to center. 2 outs. We'll bring up John JASO with the bases clear. Halos in the 6th. We'll have PUJOLS, FREESE, and Kendrick. Really would have liked to have cashed in that double by Grant Green last inning.
And all of a sudden,
caused a little more stress.
Exactly. And Ibar hit a ball well, but very good play defensively by Donaldson.
Back toward the middle. Howie to his right. To the backhand. Has it. Off balance throw. Not going to get JASO an infield base hit. Howie was kind of playing JASO to pull a little bit, so it was a tough play for him having to go so far.
JASO, a 2-hit performance and hit by a pitch on base 3 times. Continues to have big time numbers against Angel pitching throughout his career. 315 career hitter. The Angels.
Donaldson chasing the off-speed pitch, and it snowballs at a strike. He's been on board 3 times as well, with a walk in the 1st, the home run off LeBlanc in the 2nd, and the RBI single also off LeBlanc in the 3rd. Back-to-back off-speed pitches.
Seems like he's doing a much better job of using the whole field. We've seen in the past where he's always looking on the inner half of the plate. His home run was the right center field in this game.
Four home runs combined in this one. Down and in, 2-1.
Kind of closed his stance a little bit more so.
I thought so too. I saw him the other day when he faced Joe Nathan to hit that walk-off home run. We were up in Seattle, and I thought the exact same thing. It looked like he's closed it up even more so.
Allow him to be able to stay on the ball a little bit longer on the outer half of the plate.
You don't see that stance too often anymore. Closed stance like that. 2-2.
Remember Jack Clark had that.
Yeah. George Hendrick. There was a lot of guys that closed stance.
Joe Rudy had that stance.
I think Joe Rudy did too.
He's in the building here. We saw him over there at the TV booth and the radio booth. Former Angel, and of course, remember that 1974 Oakland A's World Championship Club. They're honoring here this weekend in Oakland.
2-2. Donaldson drives one out to center field. Trout giving chase. He's at the wall, and that is gone. A 2-run home run for Josh Donaldson, his second of the ball game, and it is now 9-3 Athletics.
Just like we said, he's been using the whole field this season. leading the American League as far as vote getting his third baseman. Closing up the stance and able to have better coverage on the outer part of the plate in the dead center field. Again, it's not an easy thing to do. He's got that good high leg kick, the leverage he creates, but getting that better coverage for the outer part of the plate in the dead center field here in Oakland with a home run, second home run of the game. Just like that, that momentum swing. You have Grant Green lead off the inning with a double. The Angels don't score, and then Oakland comes right back and scores two themselves after 2 outs in this inning.
Second career multi-homer game. Blanks fouls it back, and it's 1-2. Blanks 0 for 1. He grounded out to Howie Kendrick in the third. Pinch hit for Moss. So 9-3 A's here in the fifth.
Makes Donaldson now 9 for 19 this season against the Angels. Overall, though, the Angels have pitched him well. He's a .239 career hitter, but this season, talked about that closed stance, better coverage on the outer half of the plate.
Back up the middle. Ibar to his left, bobbles it. Going to be a tough play with Blanks. Slowly hit ball, and then it goes an infield base hit. Cespedes 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of fly balls to right. Breaking ball in the dirt. Blanks will advance to the wild pitch. Again, a two-out rally for Oakland. Single infield single by John JASO. Two-run home run by Donaldson, and now the field base hit by Blanks, and in scoring position, a 1-0 count on Cespedes. Check swing foul. Foul off to the right. So 1-2. Oakland now with 63 home runs on the season. The Angels with their two have 60. Count still at 1 ball, 2 strikes. LeBlanc about to throw a 73rd pitch tonight. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Been a starter. So he has some length out of the bullpen for Mike Scioscia. That fastball there was more likely a setup for his changeup.
Two on the way. Outside, a full count. Kid Lowry on deck. Now LeBlanc wants to talk things over with Iannetta. Swing and a miss. Down goes Cespedes. That'll do it for Oakland here in the 5th, but they tack on 2 more as we head into the 6th inning. 9-3 A's.
Prevalent in this game here in Oakland. Brandon Moss with the bases loaded. Grand slam in the first. Josh Donaldson going the other way, right center field. And the Halos try to work back into this game. Mike Trout to left center field, his 11th home run of the season. Howie Kendrick hits a 2-run shot to left field, his 3rd home run. And Josh Donaldson eventually hit his 2nd home run. 5 home runs hit in this game so far. 2 by that man right there, Josh Donaldson.
Pujols, Freeze, and Kendrick here in the 6th inning against Pomeranz. First one's outside. That one off the plate, going with an off-speed pitch. Albert ahead of the count at 2-0. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout. Went down looking in the first. Grounded out into the overshift in the 4th. 3-0 now. Dan Otero was up in the 5th inning after the leadoff double by Grant Green. Pomeranz, and then next retired Cal Gill, Ivar, and Trout in order. Helped out by the fantastic play by Donaldson. 3-1.
Well, he's had himself a game. Still a lot of game left, too. Just at the top of the 6th. Donaldson, great defensive play, a couple home runs. Also a single.
Albert chops this one to CALLASPO in the overshift. 1 down. Up steps Freeze. The base is clear.
David Freeze.
A couple of lefties going tomorrow. Tyler Skaggs on the mound for the Angels. Tommy Malone going for Oakland. Also a night game. And in Sunday's finale, it'll be the Battle of Aces. Jared Weaver against Sonny Gray. Let's go back and revisit our Hyundai key to the game.
Talk about wheel in the sky, that over-the-top delivery for Garrett Richards, unable to do so in the first inning. That's why you see the score here at 9-3, in which Oakland scored 5 in the first inning against Garrett Richards, who has been so good on the road this entire season, coming in the game a 1.38 ERA on the road for Richards. But from the get-go, could not get ahead of the count. He's falling off a little bit towards first base and inconsistent in the strike zone.
Two balls and a strike on Freeze. That was outside. I misspoke earlier when I said Garrett gave up 6 runs. He was actually charged with 5 runs, 2/3 of an inning. Yeah, there is ball 4. And that's the 3rd walk issued by Pomerantz. And we'll bring up Howie.
We talked about this with Jim Palmer. Remember, we talked a number of times about the first wheel effect for a pitcher compared to a merry-go-round when you're going side to side and falling off towards first. And that seemed to be an issue for Garrett today. And even on that throw from Pomerantz, who's been very good over the front leg, getting around his throw, as he walked Freeze on that one.
Looks like Otero's going to start loosening once again as Kurt Young pays a visit. Although it's a cool night here. Shouldn't take Otero too long since he was up and warming in the 5th. Pomerantz currently at 91 pitches. His 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. And just 3 hits allowed, although 2 of them home runs.
Bob Melvin's done a very good job managing this club.
Howie looks at a strike. Home run. Howie hit his 3rd 2-run shot, giving him 24 runs batted in on the season. 1 for 2 games so far. Breaking ball. That's been the pitch for Pomerantz that he's been able to get back to. Off. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Angels have left 1 on base. Oakland with 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They've stranded 8.
Well, seeing for Pomerantz too, after he's thrown 1 or 2 breaking balls in a row, he'll try to go fastball inside or try to elevate.
Ground ball to the right side. That'll sneak through for a base hit. Freeze will stop at second. So Howie with a multi-hit game. And the Angels have a couple of guys on with 1 out. C.J. Cron coming to the plate. And here comes Bob Melvin. That's going to be it. 95 pitches for Pomerantz. And with a good crowd here on this 1974 reunion weekend, no doubt that Pomerantz will depart to a nice round of applause. So pitching change here in the 6th inning. The Angels with a couple of men on, trail it by the score of 9-3. 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, 95 pitches for the lefty. He's responsible for Freeze at second and Kendrick at first. Overall, a very good start for Pomeranz. Guys started in their bullpen and because of injuries worked his way into the rotation. Dan Otero takes over, 24th game for him. Right-hander 4-1 and a 2.53 ERA.
Yeah, not overpowering. He's a ground ball pitcher. 86 to 91 range, slider, curve, changeup. There's 32 innings pitched, is 15 strikeouts, but he is a ground ball machine. 6 walks.
Crow the DH, 0 for 2. A pop up to first and a pop up to second. Fouls this one off toward the bullpen. Nice play down there. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Oakland's bullpen with an even 10-10 record at 2.93 ERA. Sean Doolittle, their closer. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off to the right. 1-2. Freeze working the 1-out walk, and Howie punching a single through the right side. A couple of men on. One, two. This is lined out to left field. Cespedes giving chase, and he can't get it. Goes off his glove. Freeze will come in to score. Howie's right on his tail. He's being waved in as well. It is a 2 RBI double, more of a missile by Crow. It's 9-5.
That baseball was seared into that gap, and looked like for a second that Cespedes was going to somehow be able to cut that one off. Boy, he's strong. You can't hit a baseball any harder than that and still be in the ballpark. And Cespedes almost able to run that just off the end of the glove. And by hitting off the end of the glove, it rolls away from him and allows both runs to score. 2 more RBIs for C.J. Cron, give him now 11 this season.
You said it a little while ago, talking about how athletic this, no pun intended, athletics outfield is. We've seen 2 good plays by Reddick tracking down that Freeze ball. COCO moving over on the ball that Grant Green hit, and now Cespedes on a ball that looked off the bat like he had no chance at.
Yeah, I didn't even think he was good. I thought he was going to just try to play it off the wall, but that closing speed he has too is center field by trade.
Those 2 runs get charge of Pomeranz, so the book on him is closed now. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chris Iannetta, who walked in the 3rd and grounded out in the 4th. Mentioned the 11 RBIs for Crow, now 7 doubles for him. 5 runs at 5 1/3 for Pomeranz. One ball, 2 strikes. Grant Green on deck. That one just missed inside. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. 2 down.
Well, that's the 5th called 3rd strike today. And that ball looked like it was, and it was off the inside corner of our Fox tracks.
Yeah, 6 strikeouts. You mentioned 5 looking. 7 looking in the game. Oakland's gone down looking twice. So here's Grant Green with Cron standing at second base. Grant with a double and a fly ball to center. Looks at the strike. Double for Grant, his 4th of the year. Reaching for that breaking ball, just got a piece of it. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Otero now 29 years of age, originally in the Giants system. Claimed off waivers by the Athletics last March from the New York Yankees. At the Duke at the University of South Florida. Way outside. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cowgill on deck. Halos are 3 in the 4th, 2 so far here in the 6th inning. Down 9-5 now.
If Grant Green can get on, you also have the option of Cole Calhoun potentially coming up for Cowgill.
Ground ball over to 3rd. Donaldson applies a tag. He did. P.J. Crone is called out. That'll do it for the Halos here in the 6th, although they scored twice on that Crone double. It's 9-5 Oakland heading to the bottom of the 6th. '14 All-Star Game is July 15th at Target Field in Minneapolis. Be sure to vote for Trout, Kendrick, Ibar, Pujols, and all the Angels this year's Midsummer's Classic. For more info and to vote, just log on at angels.com. First one in for a strike on Jed Lowry. He'll be followed by Josh Reddick and then Derek Norris. Wade LeBlanc is throwing his 76th pitch of the night. He's gone 4 1/3 so far, having allowed 4 runs. That one is up and in. There's action in the Angels' pen as Michael Kahn begins to get ready.
Boy, if Wade can just put up a 0 here in this inning, only down by 4, still plenty of innings to come back. Seen some good swings last couple of innings for the Angels.
This one out toward right center field. Hit pretty well, but Trout was shading Lowry that way. And he'll make the catch for the first down here in the 6th. That puts Lowry at 1 for 3. And we'll bring up Josh Reddick. Casually strolls to the plate to a careless whisper.
Changed his walk-up song recently to try to get his numbers going. A little bit better as far as the batting average.
Swings the first one and bounces it over to Kendrick. 2 down. 1 for 3 game for Reddick, a single and a walk. And now this ground out to Papa.
Careless Whispers, a walk-off.
Now that was just George Michael, right? That wasn't Wham.
Yeah, I think so. Slightly different song here.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about going from one extreme to the next.
Yes.
Derek Norris, the catcher, has walked, hit a fly ball to right and struck out. Native of Goddard, Kansas. He's planning on attending Wichita State before he signed with the Washington Nationals. Rolled foul. Another one of those guys that you know, on paper, when you look at the trade, you said, all right, serviceable guy. You know, the minor league numbers don't overwhelm you. Much like Josh Donaldson's. He was with the Cubs before he got traded over. But given the opportunities, like, here you go. We trust that you can get the job done. And it's almost like the confidence has taken over for a lot of these guys on this roster for Oakland. As he
No
goes
question.
down
Bob Melvin lets them be themselves.
yeah. 6 complete here at the Coliseum. The Halos down by the score, 9-5. The mascot race here.
That's closing speed for the closer.
Yeah. Raleigh fingers by a handlebar mustache.
Yes.
Raleigh's happy.
And he's in the building, too.
Yeah. You think he had some action on that race? I don't know. He's looking like he had some action on that race.
Yes.
He wears his sunglasses at night, too.
Yeah, and why wouldn't he? Hall of Famer.
Your Raleigh fingers, you can do whatever you want.
And you just won the race.
He probably stood up in that suite and said, today I am the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Right to Ricky. Cole Calhoun set to lead things off as a pinch hitter for Colin Cowgill here in the 7th. Dan Otero on the mound. .217 average for Calhoun. Had himself a big game yesterday. On base 4 times, double, a single, 2 walks. Cole takes out John. That was in that leadoff spot. The first time he had been in that leadoff spot since injuring his ankle. Calgill, by the way, finishes the night going 0 for 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
See again, tracking the baseball well.
Lefties hitting Otero at a 300 clip. Righties at 188. Ibar on deck. Switch hitter will bat from the left side. Trout and Pujols if we get that far. That one's on the corner. 3-1.
Boy, at this point when you're down by 4 runs, you're just looking for base runners. Patient, make sure it's in the zone.
And there's ball 4. So the leadoff man on board for the Halos. It's time for our AT&T fan photo of the game. Remember to tweet your photos using hashtag WestFanPhoto, and your photo could be used in an upcoming game broadcast. Here it is as we unveil it tonight. Sarah. Oh, love it.
Oh.
Stay Puft, Marshmallow Man, and Mark Kubica.
Yeah.
The oddest yet loveliest of couples.
Yeah.
Here's Eric Ibar. Ibar 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Donaldson made a terrific play on him in the 5th inning. Donaldson playing in third just in case of a bunt. Little chopper back to the mound. Otero fires to second and they get the lead runner.
Oh, well played by Otero. Fields it. Already has his body turned to make it easier to throw to second base and gets the lead runner. This is textbook on how to field your position. Has his body turned. Perfect throw.
27.
Force out at second.
A 1 out, 1 on. Here's Trout. 1 for 3. A home run and a couple of strikeouts. No balls and 1 strike. Did get an update on Josh Hamilton, who restarted his rehab with AAA Salt Lake. Hamilton 2 for 4 tonight. Left for a pinch runner to end his night in the 8th inning. Chopper to the left side. Donaldson can't make the play on it. Just underneath the glove. That would have been an interesting play with the arm that Donaldson has.
Yeah, he was going to be off balance. He was going to have to throw that from submarine style. And with Trout's speed, that would have been a difficult play. And because of that speed, it's forcing you to come in on the baseball and unable to make the play. I believe that might end up being a hit.
Kurt Young's going to go on and pay a visit. Oakland has action in their bullpen. Luke Gregerson's getting ready. Boy, you get one big blast right here by Albert. There's Gregerson, former Padre. Keep adding a little stress to this Oakland A's bullpen.
He's given up 2 home runs this year. Again, and when you're facing pitcher like Otero, you just have to try to bring the baseball up. He's going to try to sink it, try to get a ground ball. And if you're Pujols, you're just trying to get something elevated.
Well, 3 infielders on the right side, although CALLASPO really playing Albert more up the middle. You see him there in your screen. He's trying to keep Ibar close to second. Trout at first. A good speed on the bases for the Angels. Albert 0 for 3. A strikeout, 2 groundouts. That one's way outside. You put a ball in the alley and all of a sudden a 2-run game. Downstairs. And it is 2-0. Trout does get credit for a base hit.
Thought they might give him. That's a tough play. Well, if you're Pujols, to see if you can get a pitch up in the strike zone right now.
2 balls, 1 strike. Albert's still looking like he wants to pull. He's
That's a pitch right there. He can crush the right center field when he's using that lower part of his body, the leverage on his stride. He can drive the ball very well that way.
Jose's done a heck of a job on the pregame shows, breaking down that swing of late for Albert. This is bounced over to third, and it's off the glove and right to Lowry. Low throw, and they get him. Ibar advances to third. Trout forced out by Lowry. Looked as if Donaldson may have gotten a piece of it, but regardless, they get the out. It's a second out here in the seventh.
Socha, seeing if he kept his foot on the base, because Mike Socha's looking in to make sure. Looked like he got him. Yeah. He was looking to make sure that.
Well, here comes Melvin, and that's going to be it for Otero. They're going to go with Luke Gregerson, as David Freese will be the batter. So the Angels with a couple of base runners here now, and 2 outs at a pitching change in the seventh. Oakland still leading at 9-5. The base runner at third base. Pujols at first. Freeze to face Luke Gregerson.
Gregerson fastball 86 to 90 slider. He throws a lot of sliders. Curveball changeup. He's stranded just 5 of 13 inherited runners, which is worst in Major League Baseball. So you look at that ERA, seeing 2.70. You think solid season, but has not done a real good job with runners inherited as far as preventing them from scoring.
Slider down low. Pujols reaching on the fielder's choice. David Freese 0 for 1, a fly ball to right, 2 walks, and 2 runs scored. Fouled off to the right. Angels tonight, by the way, 1 for 7 with men in scoring position. So they've had some opportunities, especially with that leadoff double by Grant Green in the 5th. Fell behind early, 7-0. Scored 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. Looming large right now is that 2-run home run by Donaldson, his second, back in the 5th inning.
Exactly. At that point, the momentum certainly on the Halo side. Still needed some big hits from that point, but Donaldson not only with the glove, but 2 home runs in this game.
Check swing. He went around. Home plate umpire Jim Reynolds brings him up. The Angels will leave another man at scoring position. 7th inning stretch time at the Coliseum. Still 9-5 Oakland. 2 more here at the Coliseum tomorrow night, and then Sunday afternoon. Tyler Skaggs, Tommy Malone tomorrow, the Battle of Lefties. Battle of Aces on Sunday, Weaver against Gray.
Yeah, a couple really good matchups here in the next couple of days. Skaggs, a good 92 to 94 mile an hour sinking fastball away.
CALLASPO, Crisp, and JASO. Jared. Those 3 guys scheduled to face Wade LeBlanc, although there's action in the Angels' pen still. Four pitches thrown by LeBlanc. Coming off his first and only 1-2-3 inning. That was the 6th. 2-1. CALLASPO's 0 for 3. A strikeout, a pop to short, and a fly to right. Two. 5 1/3 so far for LeBlanc. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 runs allowed, 6 hits. This one's out to left. Grant's there. 1 out. Hey, MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. You can join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live at True HD on over 400 devices. Visit Angels.com for details. Top of the order, and COCO Crisp. 2 singles, a walk, and a fly ball to center. One ball, 1 strike. COCO's got a garden gnome about to be given away here.
June 22nd.
When did this gnome thing take off?
Seen quite a few of them. That's a good one. That's good hair going for COCO Crisp. Look at that look.
Did you just say that's a good one?
It's a good one. He likes it. He's got a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Right at Pierce College.
Looks nothing like him. This is shot to second. Howie's got it 2 down.
Again, he's smiling. That's the most important thing.
I guess. That's not even a cousin thrice removed.
Just like Weaver's gnome, he loves it.
You know, with that cap on, it might look like him now.
Yes.
There's John JASO. DH takes outside. JASO, a couple of singles, strikeout, a hit by pitch.
There it is. Can't tell the difference now.
Bouncer over to first. PUJOLS got it. Takes it himself in a 1-2-3 and a 4 LeBlanc. 7 complete at the Coliseum. Still 9-5 Oakland. The Angels will have Kendrick, Crone, and Inetta coming up. And by Mercury Insurance, save big on your auto insurance. Get a fast free quote at mercuryinsurance.com today to see how much you can save. New second baseman for the Oakland Athletics as we begin the 8th inning. 9-5 A's. Eric Sogard takes over for Alberto CALLASPO.
Leading off the top of the 8th inning for Los Angeles,
Eric Sogard,
47,
a.k.a.
Howie
Angel Killer.
Kendrick.
Yeah, considering his numbers, really even coming into the game against Richards, didn't start it. 5 for 13.
Howie Kendrick, a 2-hit game for him with a home run and a single. With Gregerson back out. Lifted foul and out of play on the first base side. No balls and 2 strikes on Howie Kendrick. This one's out towards center. COCO back a couple of steps. 1 down.
Number 20.
It'll bring up C.J. Cron.
C.J. Cron.
Gregerson acquired in the offseason a deal for Seth Smith. Originally in the Cardinal system, but all of his big league time prior to this year with San Diego. 73 games worked for the Padres last year, 77 the year before. One ball, no strikes on CJ. 1 for 3, 2 RBI, double in the 6th. 7th double now with 11 runs batted in. Cron playing in his 22nd game.
Well, he's showing some real good power to all fields. Pretty good idea at the plate also. Chase a ton of pitches out of the strike zone.
3-0 count. His splits are pretty even. I mean, prior to tonight, 35 plate appearances against lefties, 33 against righties. You see 333 against left-handed pitching, 313 against right-handed pitching. As he looks at his strike, it's 3-1. And with men in scoring position, Cron has done a nice job so far. 8 for 21. That's a .381 batting average, and that was prior to the double he hit in the 6th. Full count. So it's early. It's a small sample size for the young man, but you'd like to see a kid that comes up and doesn't look overwhelmed or overmatched. He's still learning. Just like that.
Especially because he felt that pitch before might have been borderline, maybe off the plate. So when you see that, especially as a young hitter, you're forced to expand your strike zone, and he ends up chasing his slider out of the strike zone.
For Iannetta, number 16, Hank Conger.
Hank Conger will pinch hit here for Chris Iannetta, who ended the night going 0 for 2 with a walk. Looks like Michael Kahn's going to pitch the 8th. So he continues to warm up in the Angels bullpen. No balls and a strike on Hank. Hitting 267 now for his first pinch hit. This one looped down the left field line. Long run for Cespedes toward the foul line. He's there. And that'll do it for the Halos. They go down in order here in the 8th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Still 9-5 Oakland. Angels do make a pitching change. Wade LeBlanc is now done. And it's Michael Kahn taking over. 24th game for him, a 2-1 record, 2.01 earned run average. For Michael, it's been about kind of getting back to where he was early on this year as far as command. You see the 17 walks, that walk total has kind of gone up for him.
Yeah, he's been flying open, that front shoulder going up in the air, and that forced that shoulder to fly open. He's dipping the shoulder too much. He's trying to keep his shoulder level. Once he gets back to that point, he could be very effective pitcher out of the bullpen for Mike Scioscia.
Wade LeBlanc picked up some innings tonight, 6 1/3. Allowed 4 runs, all earned on 6 hits, 2 home runs. He allowed to Josh Donaldson 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. What he certainly did, Donaldson steps in and takes a fastball upstairs, is save the bullpen. But going that far into this game, Richards got the start. Gave up 5 runs in 2/3 of an inning. Donaldson, skies went out to right field. This one's going to stay in the ballpark. It's Cole Calhoun there, 1 away.
Again, it's been impressive watching him hit the ball to that part of the field from right center to center field. Both his home runs up the middle or the other way. And he used to be susceptible to pitches away. Now I think what you got to do is you got to make him aware of something inside, maybe even off the plate inside, to be able to get that outer part of the plate back.
Kyle Blanks, 1 for 2, took over for Moss. 3rd inning. Moss tightness in his calf. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blanks 1 for 2. Ground ball to second and an infield base hit in the 5th. Fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just off the plate. 2-2.
See Michael really trying to make sure he keeps his shoulders level as he delivers that fastball.
A full count. They didn't miss my bunch. Conger, of course, stays in the game behind the plate. And he walked him. So puts a man on for YOENIS Cespedes.
Now
0 for 4 tonight. 2 strikeouts, 2 fly balls to right.
YOENIS Cespedes.
There's Sean Doolittle getting ready. Gregerson working a scoreless inning in the 3rd. Popped up on the left side of the infield. Eric Ibar waiting for the rainmaker. 2 down. Mentioned Wade LeBlanc going 6 1/3 innings. Our own Matt Birch, the Angels crack PR staff, putting out this nugget. Longest relief outing by an Angels lefty since Pat Clemens went 6 2/3 on May 26, 1985. I believe I was just finishing up my senior year of high school, 1985, May 26th. Watching you pitch for the Royals.
Yes. But I was only 18 myself at that point. That's what you need. We've talked about that a lot. The Angels have not had that, where you have a guy out of the bullpen, a long guy. We had to mix and match an inning of each reliever to be able to finish off a game.
It was not a pretty beginning for the Angels. Garrett Richards unable to finish off the first inning. Oakland ended up sending 11 men to the plate, scoring 5 runs. Donaldson hit a home run in the second. Got an RBI single from Donaldson in the third. When the third inning was done, it was 7-0 Oakland. The Angels struck for 3 in the fourth. Oakland got 2 more off of Donaldson's bat to make it 9-3. And then the Angels struck for 2 on the C.J. Cron double in the 6th, and that's where we stand. They've had some other opportunities as well. 3 balls, 1 strike. Back.
Right off the mask of Hank Conger. Directly right off the mask. Jim Reynolds able to hold up Conger.
So full count with 2 outs. Blanks will be on the move. Albert playing behind him. Angels in the 9th inning will have Green, Calhoun, and Ibar coming up 8-9-1. (3-2). Swing and a foul tip hung on to by Hank, and that'll do it for the A's here in the 8th. We head to the 9th. The Angels need a big rally, down at 9-5. In any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this Angels that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. John Doolittle takes over on the mound for the Oakland Athletics as we begin the 9th inning. It's 9-5 Oakland. Stick around at the last out. Angels live post game presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Jose will join me. We'll break it all down for you. Hopefully it's a good thing for the Angels here in the ninth inning. They could somehow rally to at least tie this game up, if not more, against Sean Doolittle. 24th game, a 1-2 record, and an even 3 ERA. Has 4 saves. Fastball 91 to 96, and a little bit more sliders thrown from Doolittle this season. Over 15%. Prior to that, barely any sliders or anything off speed, an occasional changeup also. Former position player turned reliever. Granted a nice extension earlier this year. Pretty good ratio to walk to strikeout ratio. 33 strikeouts, 1 walk. Grant Green swings the first pitch fastball. Grant 1 for 3. Doubled, leading off the 5th inning, but was stranded. 4th double of the season. Bounce this one back. No balls and 2 strikes. Calhoun on deck. Eric Ibar after him. One and 2. Lifted in the air to shallow right. Sogard going out. Radek calls him off. One down.
Now batting, number 56, Cole Calhoun.
Well, since that infield base hit by Mike Trout put runners at first and second with 1 out of the 7th. Oakland relievers have retired 6 consecutive batters. They started with Pujols on the fielder's choice. They continued through Gregerson and now Doolittle.
Yeah, we've said that continues to be a strength, although not quite as automatic. It's still very solid.
Cole drew a walk in the 7th inning. Lays off. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
And in that conversation I had with him earlier, understanding why Mike Scioscia did not have him in there necessarily against Pomeranz, the lefty. That's what he wants to get more comfortable against left-handed pitching. At that point, you'll see him at the top of the order against both righties and lefties, trying to stay inside the baseball as much as possible against a lefty.
Three balls and a strike. Calhoun looks at the strike. Perhaps thought that pitch may have been off the plate. Full count now. Here comes the payoff. And Cole goes down swinging, 2 outs.
Well, this fastball had a little running action off the outside corner. On the strikeout for Doolittle. He's now 34 on the season with that 1 walk.
Halos down to the last out here. Eric Ibar, the leadoff man. 0 for 4 tonight. foul ball back, and it's an 0-1 count. Halos just unable to dig themselves out of that big hole early in this ball game. A 7-0 deficit. No balls, 2 strikes.
Certainly some things to work on in between starts for Garrett Richards this time around. Now when you look at what he's done over the last 3 starts now, he's given up 13 earned runs in 14 and 2/3 innings pitched. Too good of stuff to have those results.
Oh, 2 now. Ibar breaks his bat, loops one towards short, and Lowry can't get there, and it falls in for a hit. So it'll bring up Trout. Mike with a couple of hits tonight. Home run back in the 4th. The solo shot. His 11th.
Now batting,
Infield base hit in the 7th.
27, Mike Trout.
Oh, 1 count. No balls and 2 strikes. Blanks holding Ibar on at first base.
Pretty surprising.
Here's the 0-2 again. Upstairs.
Because that run is meaningless. But he also opened up that side of the infield for a slow roller. If Trout's late on a fastball from Doolittle, and Doolittle has a good fastball, gets by him, all of a sudden it's 1st and 3rd.
Reset and do it again. Pomeranz, the pitcher of record for Oakland. Garrett Richards for the Angels. Yet another 1-2. Up and down at the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Out swinging the Halos, dropped the first one against Oakland. The final tonight, 9-5.
Yeah, I think that's what it came down to, is the fact is early lead, Brandon Moss grand slam in the 1st, and then Josh Donaldson was the story from that point forward. 2 home runs, a solid defensive play, unable to come back as Oakland wins the first game of this 3-game series, 9-5.
Drew Pomeranz picks up the victory. Garrett Richards takes the loss. No save as the Angels drop the opening game of this 3-game set by the final of 9-5. Stick around. Angels Live post game is coming up next.